What's going on, everybody? This is Temperature Check. I am your host as always, man. Mr. Check the Temperature. How y'all doing? Before I get started with today's content, I must do what I always do anytime you see me on your screen, and that's thank you guys for the likes, comments, shares, most importantly, those descriptions. Whether you be a day one fan or somebody who just started rocking with the channel today, man, I greatly appreciate it. And if you're loving what I got going on my YouTube and you want to see more of me, easy money, man. Follow me on Mr. Check the Temperature on Instagram, Mr. Temp Check on Twitter. But today, as you can see, man, I am sitting next to a legend, sitting next to someone who I believe is a battle rap icon. But not only is he involved in battle rap, but you also know him from mainstream. This is Factz, my brother.
What's up,
How
man?
are you doing, G?
Good, man.
Welcome to Omaha, Nebraska. I'm glad you saw more than one black person since you've been here.
Yes,
I definitely want to get that on camera since he tried to play us on the way in.
I was a little scared. I was the only black man on an airplane, and there was a lot of white people asking me why I was coming to Nebraska. So, I was a little apprehensive. But we here. We at the Culture House out here in Omaha, Nebraska, with my guy Temp Check. We're gonna get into a whole bunch of stuff today, man.
Yeah, so first and foremost, man, why are you here? Why are you at the Culture House? Tell them why you're in town.
I am in town for an event tonight. One of the first events that's happening here in Omaha, Nebraska. It's the second annual sneaker soiree thrown by my guy Eric Ejike. And I'm going to be performing tonight. It's going to be a whole bunch of other people performing. Shout out to my man Lipo, as well as the wonderful female MC, Ty Lynn. That's
absolutely.
She's also here from Omaha, Nebraska. She's been doing freestyles every Thursday, so make sure you guys tap in with her. And Lipo is one of the better producers and MCs that come out of Omaha, Nebraska. So I've been tapped in with the community out here, going from place to place, meeting the people, shaking hands, kissing babies, and I'm just glad to be here, man.
Man, we definitely appreciate you, man. Definitely an ambassador to not only battle rap, but just hip hop as a culture, man. But let's get into it, man. We got a couple hours before Ultimate Madness 3, the second round. Me and you have been kind of talking about some of the intangibles, some of the battles off camera, man. But let's get some of this footage on camera. Let's talk about it.
Right.
So let's kind of run down some of the battles and let's do some predictions.
Okay.
Let's do KCJ and Prep.
So I'm a person that likes chaos. So I feel Prep is gonna win.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be mad if KCJ won. So I'm going for Prep to win.
Mm-hmm.
But if KCJ won, I would appreciate it because I enjoy chaos.
Okay. Okay. So when you think about KCJ's last performance, what do you feel like she has to do differently to beat a Prep?
She just got to be the best version of herself, because what she did 2 weeks ago, I was not a fan of.
Okay.
I wasn't a fan of that.
And what about Prep's? I mean, Prep's battle against Wave, obviously some controversy.
Right.
We'll get into who's actually doing some of the judging here.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? What does Prep have to do to make that more of a clear battle, more of a decisive victory for him?
I mean, I think he just needs to be himself a little bit more. I think some of the angles that he took in the second round against Wave just wasn't hitting as well as it should have. His third round was really, really good, and I feel like that's the bag he needs to be in for every single round going into this situation with Casey, because she has beaten men. She's beaten Swamp, she's beaten Swerve. No matter how we feel about it, she's beaten both of those guys. So she is very capable of toppling someone like Prep, so he needs to be on point 100%.
Okay. So if we get Prep at 100% and we get 100% KCJ, who wins?
I'm edging it to Prep. Just off of delivery probably alone, and he knows how to rock a room a little bit better than Casey. So I would go with Prep at 100% over Casey at 100%.
Okay. Now, I don't know if you've been watching a lot of DNA's show, but they did, him and Casey and Prep, they had like a little mini face-off before the URL face-off last night.
Right.
And it was revealed that there was a bar used in Casey's round, the Bobby Brown bar, was the exact same punchline that was used with Yoshi G in the same event. Now, I'm not saying that Prep is going to use that as an angle, but with everything going on around KCJ, with QP lurking, and you saw it made her uncomfortable to talk about that on camera. She gets very emotional when someone brings up QP around her.
I haven't seen this interview, but this is bad business, man. I mean, listen, he has to execute this. Him exposing it beforehand is a little premature. It doesn't speak to someone who knows how to play chess. But if he executes it properly during the rounds tonight, then it should get crazy for Casey.
No.
We'll see.
So I'll be honest with you. I have Prep 2-1 clear in this. I do believe he has to get back to what we know him to be.
I agree.
His second round against Wave Sever was trash. I did not like the angles. And one thing I do like about Prep, he's honest.
Yeah.
He admitted that the second round was not it, that he was going to have to get back to the Prep that we know and love in order to get, obviously, to get to the next round, get you one step closer to that bag. But let's talk about another battle on the card. I would say a battle of the underdogs, but I think could be potentially one of the more entertaining battles.
Probably.
Cortez versus Jack Boy Maine.
Yeah.
What you thinking?
Cortez texted me yesterday, and he was like, yo, I thought we was cool. Why you got Jack winning? And I was like, yo, man, I like chaos, and I think his story is a little bit better. And he felt like his story is a little bit better. And I was like, listen, Cortez, your chain didn't get thrown in the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like, this man came from the bottom of the bottom of the bottom. You had a bad year last year, but it doesn't top what Jack has been going through. So I'm going for Jack on this 2-1. I wouldn't be surprised if Cortez won. I don't feel like there's a wrong pick for this one. You can pick Cortez or you can pick Jack, and I would agree with both. You know what I'm saying? But I do think I'm going for Jack. I think Jack is going to pull us off.
Okay. So I think for me, it really depends on what you want to see. If you want to see a battle rapper to give you moments that's going to give you unpredictability, you're going to go with Jack. If you want structure, if you want bars, you want angles that actually make a little bit more sense, you're going to go with Cortez. That's literally how you break this battle down. But this is $100,000, and this is a tournament that we're talking about. And I really think when battles are close like this, when it is a toss-up like this, it comes down to moments. Yeah. And for me, Jack Boy can give you moments.
I agree, 100%. And I think Jack is going to pull us off, man, 2-1. I think it would be great for him to just win the tournament. He'll be the dark horse that just kind of toppled over everybody's predictions. And I think I like chaos, so I just want him to win it all, honestly.
No, and so I'll be honest, man. I had picked T-Top to beat Jack Boy in the first. Mm-hmm. Obviously, that did not happen. And because it did not happen, I have to go with what my eyes taught me. And what my eyes taught me and what it showed me was Jack Boy is able to provide those moments, to give you that level of unpredictability and that energy. When he's just going there,
it's hard to beat.
Especially
for Tez.
Yes. Because he's not going to be a room favorite. You know that. The room is going to be against Tez. And I understand that Tez, once he feels like he needs to snatch back his respect, but bro, you over a decade in the game. If you ain't got it now, you definitely ain't going to get it.
I agree with that 100%. And Tez is my guy. I love him to death. I just can't see him pulling this off in this particular environment. But if he does, more power and kudos to him. I'll have him beating whoever he has coming up next. You know what I'm saying? After that.
Okay. No, that's a dope. I love Cortez. I think Cortez is very underrated as an artist, as a battler, as a rapper, as a performer. But again, when you're talking 10, 12 years in the game and you're still looking for respect, you should be thinking about higher accolades.
I agree. 100%.
Higher accolades.
100%.
But let's keep it going, man. Let's keep it going. Obviously the Geechee and Swamp. I want to save that one. So what's the other one on the? I didn't mess around.
Rum and Drugs.
Rum and Drugs. The second time around, part 2.
Oh man, I got Rum 2-1. I do think Drugs is gonna make it a little bit closer. I think Drugs is gonna make it closer, but I can't see him beating Rum. I just can't. It's just he's taking too many matches. There's too many name flips that can be done. There's too many angles. I can't see him pulling this off against Rum Nitty. But, crazier things have happened. But I'm going with Rum 2-1.
No, I think at this point in time, I do think, I would say this. As an athlete, as a football player, it's hard to beat somebody twice in the same season. And it's not like it's been a lot of time between the first time they've seen each other. And if you are Drugs and you were in the tournament and you knew a Rum Nitty was in there, you had to start writing early. You had to think that you in hopes that you would be able to spin the block on him.
He said he prepared in 6 days. I
don't believe him.
He said 6 days for him is like a year. That's what he said.
He wouldn't be in this tournament if that was true.
Hey, listen, man. I'm just repeating.
Respectfully, he wouldn't be battling for $100,000 if 6 days was a year for him.
I don't know what's wrong with him. I would have been preparing for Rum the moment I beat Yoshi, personally. Because Rum is just a dangerous guy. He's a fan favorite, so he has to win three. He has to win 3 votes. Battle Rap Fanatic is a fanatic of Rum Nitty, so he has to win the Luke vote. He has to win the Tony Bro vote, and he has to win. Who else is the judge?
Was it Luke Bro, Tony? Who is the other judge?
Freeway. He has to win the Freeway vote.
It's Freeway. Never mind.
He has to win those 3 votes. He's not winning the fan vote, and he's not winning the Battle Rap Fanatic vote.
No.
So like, I can't see him pulling this off at all. It doesn't matter what he does. He's not gonna pull this off.
No, I think, usually when it comes down to tournament, again, you want to see moments, you want to see surprise factor. Rum Nitty is an outlier for all of that. Yes. Rum Nitty is an outlier. He can do one thing really well that consistently, long as he does that, you will always put his name as a front runner for something like this. I do have to agree with you. Drugs, I expect Drugs to be a lot better. I expect him to build off the momentum of the Yoshi G, build off the momentum of the Ryder battle. However, at the end of the day, it's still Rum Nitty. And when Rum Nitty says that he's focused in on you now, even more so because he know the last performance against Sirius Jones was not his best, you're not sneaking up on Rum now.
It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
Good luck, Drugs, man. I'm gonna give you 2-1 because I definitely think you about to rap your heart out, and I know what you're rapping for. You have made it known.
Yes.
As a father, I'm with you. I'm praying for you, but facts is facts.
Facts is facts. It's over. It's over. It's over. Appreciate you though. Participation award. Appreciate you, King.
But let's get to the main event, the one battle that I know I am looking forward to the most. I had the opportunity to just interview Swamp this past Tuesday, so definitely shout out to him. Yeah. Check out that interview if you haven't seen it. Swamp versus Geechee Gotti. Triple C's is broken up already.
Yeah. I mean, this one is going to be a tough one. I think it's going to be a close one as well. But for me personally, Geechee is he's a machine, and I can't see him losing. I can't see him losing to Swamp. I think Swamp is going to do extremely well. I think it's going to be a close situation. But Geechee is going to win that fan vote. Geechee is just, he just does what he does, man. I can't see Swamp pulling it off. But I wouldn't be mad if he won. I wouldn't be mad if anybody won this joint. I just want to see chaos.
So I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with you, Mike G. I am someone who has been following Swamp heavily since the Your Honor battle. Mm-hmm. I went back and watched his old stuff, and I've definitely watched the moves that he's made. And although I would definitely say Easy to Block Captain has a higher profile right now in battle rap, let's not make the mistake like Swamp wasn't just in those same shoes.
Right.
Easy's a little bit better on camera. He does a little bit better in the interviews. We get that. So profile's a little bit higher. But let's not make a mistake about it. This is Swamp. He has not lost on a URL to a man yet. Mm-hmm. I can make the argument his battle against Dre West, that was the best battle, 3 rounds I had seen since the Your Honor battle from Swamp. And I just believe, for me, when I watched the face-offs, everyone was in there almost trying to be what they weren't. You kind of saw people like Drugs and people like Jack Boy try to be quiet, but they started talking about it into this. Right. Swamp was quiet the whole time. He's been like that. He's been like that the whole time.
I didn't get a chance to see the face-offs yesterday, so I wasn't able to see that. But I don't know, man. It's still Geechee, man.
I understand it's still Geechee, but I just believe that if Swamp can win the first, that's to me, that is the round that he must win. He must win the first. He must win the first, and I actually need him to go second. That's that right there, because I think he's gonna have some angles. Because if you think about, you remember the Geechee line that Geechee used in the battle with JC, where he talked about the language that they speak in the Carolinas, the Geechee language. He's gonna bring that. That's a perfect angle for Swamp. That's a perfect angle for Swamp. I think Swamp's also gonna bring up the fact, Geechee, you're arguably the #1 battler in the world right now. Why are you battling every week?
It's a hustle, man. I can't be. That's not an angle I'm gonna go with. I think your man. Geechee is gonna be like, listen, I wrote most of that stuff. That's 2 on 2.
You think that's it?
I think so. I think that's because Geechee wasn't rapping like that. He don't rap like that. Listen, man. I respect everybody's pre-prediction opinions, But look, man, at the end of the day, dog, it's Geechee, man. I can't see Swamp being Geechee.
It's
Just
Geechee.
I can't see him.
And I understand it's Geechee. We're talking 2-time champion of the year.
But I love chaos, so I'm with you.
We from South Carolina. Just, you know what I'm saying? We from South Carolina. We want to see chaos. Again, like, my heart is definitely with Swamp on this one.
Okay.
More so than my head is. I get it. He is a machine. Like, again, Geechee's he's Kevin Durant.
Yes.
He can take 6 weeks off the bench, drop 35
Yes,
easy.
I agree.
He is that. But I just think, again, with Swamp, he is original. When he raps, because his delivery, because of his accent, it sounds different. It's ear-catching. It automatically makes you listen a little bit more closely. The believability. He has believability just like a Geechee. And he ain't hid behind a tree, respectfully, Geechee. He ain't hid behind a tree.
I agree. But Geechee ain't lose to KCJ either.
It's a fact. Damn it, Swamp! I can't. I tried my best, bro.
It's all good. I think it's gonna be a great match, and whoever wins, I think it's gonna be dope, man. But I definitely got Geechee.
No.
So.
And I think it's gonna be a dope battle. I think it kind of cheats Swamp a little bit because he deserves a Summer Madness. This is a Summer Madness type of battle right now. Mm-hmm. This battle makes sense for Swamp right now, given everything he's going through.
Right.
But I think it's a dope battle, and again, I do believe, I'll say this, whoever wins this particular battle, I do think is going to win the tournament.
I would have to almost agree. I'm rooting for Jack. But it'll be dope to see if Swamp does beat Geechee and Casey beat Prep. That'll be...
Hey, spin the block, man. Spin the block.
And then I think he'll 3-0 her. I think he'll be mad enough to 3-0 her.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's a dope storyline, honestly, if that happens. But we'll see.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we've talked about the battles, man, but we also know there is a key variable in this tournament that we got to get to, that you've had a strong opinion on.
Yes.
You definitely had a strong opinion on. You voiced your opinion, and a lot of people agree with you. A lot of people said there should have been a swap out between the first round and the second round.
Yeah, I'm seeing
Mickey's name is being mentioned a lot, man. So we got to talk about the judging and what you feel happened in the first round. And I want to hear about what you think they could do better in the second round. What are you looking for in the second round to improve?
I just wanted to be clear. Like, I don't think the people are mad at who they chose to win those matches. People are mad at the explanations.
Absolutely.
And the explanations don't measure up to what we feel we deserved for someone who we feel won the match. Because other people picked Swave to win. Other people picked Prep to win, and they gave Prep and Rum to win, and they gave proper explanations. The explanations that these other guys gave, that just didn't work well with the people. And I feel like the more you talk, the more you're putting yourself into a hole, and the more you get looked at for scrutiny. You have to be very careful with your words, at least if you care about public perception and reception. And that's for that particular standpoint. Going into the second round, it's the same thing. Less is more. Speak less. I didn't need to hear this long dialogue for Yoshi G and Drugs. I didn't need to hear this long dialogue for Twerk and KCJ. Like, I just didn't need to hear that. You know what I'm saying? It was not something that we know what happened. So why are you breaking this down in this manner? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like just get straight to the point, knock it out the park, tell us why they won very quickly, move on. 90 seconds, boom. If it's a close battle, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes tops. That's it. That's all it takes, bro.
No, I agree. I think for me, stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane is what I would tell the judges. Everybody has a role, and you can clearly identify everyone's personal role in the judging. If we're looking for bar breakdown, Tony Bro. If we're looking for reaction, Battle Rap Fanatic.
Right.
Minnesota Luke is supposed to give us the old school nostalgic angle. So everyone has their lane. Just stick to what you know.
Right.
Just stick to what you know. And like you said, when it's obvious, when it's clear, we don't got to talk about it.
I don't got to talk about it.
We ain't got to talk about it.
I agree 100%.
So my question to you is, since you have been a voice of concern as it pertains to the judging,
Right.
let's say you had the power to pick the judges.
Who would I pick?
Who would you pick?
Definitely picking Tony Bro.
Man, that's my guy. Shout out to the Bruhs, first of all. Shout out to the Bruhs, Mega Shot 5, absolutely.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the better judges I've ever seen. Period.
Mm.
So I would definitely pick him. I would also pick probably. I can't pick myself, right?
Yes, you can. Hell yeah! You already know everybody wants you there anyway.
I pick myself.
This is the third tournament in a row where the consensus is where is Mickey? Where is Mickey? So let's just be proactive before we start hearing whispers of Ultimate Madness 3.
Right.
Let's be the first one to start the campaign right now. Let's make it right. Mickey Factz as a judge. Ultimate Madness 4. You got Tony Bro, Mickey Factz. Insert 2 more.
Yeah. I mean, I would definitely pick myself because I'm gonna look at this. I'm gonna break it down from an analytical standpoint, statistical standpoint, historical standpoint, storyline standpoint. I'm gonna make sure everything is laid out for the people to know. So I would definitely do it on that stand. I do feel like if there are women in the tournament, 40 bars. Well, 40 should 40 come back? How did you feel about her when she did it the first time?
I feel like she got better. I feel like she got better as the tournament kind of wears on. That's why I'm not so hard on Battle Rap Fanatic. It's your first time doing it to this magnitude. I mean, it's just like a sports team. The greatest growth is between week 1 and week 2.
Right.
So I'm expecting to see a lot of growth with this. But I think she did overall. I think she did solid.
Yeah, if there are women in the tournament, I'll pick her. If there's no women in the tournament, I would definitely have Lloyd Banks as a celebrity judge.
Okay.
And then I would have Iron Solomon.
That's a name. That's a name.
Iron is he, to me, I think is one of the better guys. He knows how to break stuff down. He's unbiased. He has no allegiance to anybody, and he just kind of understands what needs to be voted upon when it comes to these tournaments. Because he's been in tournaments, he's had to hit certain benchmarks in order to get to the next level. So I would have Iron Solomon, Lloyd Banks as a celebrity if somebody really, really needs somebody of that nature in it, Tony Bro and myself. And I think the fan vote, I would remove that, man.
You will remove the fan vote?
I would remove the fan vote, and I would have a bunch of bloggers as like a judge and a jury kind of. So like it would have to be like 13 bloggers or like 6 fans and 6 trusted fans and 7 trusted bloggers or maybe media or maybe about whoever. And if it comes down to that vote, you go to them. Who do you got? Yes for this person, no for this person, and it'll be quick. We don't need explanations for them. Just put up your card and we do the count, and then that's how we pick the winner.
I like that. I definitely think when you talk about the tournament of this magnitude, obviously the URM Caffeine do a great job at marketing it, but it's really off of the strength of the bloggers and the strength of the fans. Mm-hmm. That these tournaments have reached $100,000.
Right.
So I definitely think more media influence would be a great idea. I would say this: if you could take away the celebrity personality, I would insert a Showtime SP. Mm-hmm. I think what Iron Solomon is to your generation, Showtime is to mine.
Okay.
Very much so. He's a man that I've seen of high integrity. He has stood up and not backed down from some of the worst critiques I have seen.
Yeah.
So
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at Showtime being one of those guys. I would pick him. I would pick him definitely. I saw what we saw with. I like what we saw with Iron Solomon, mm-hmm. and I know that Banks follows it. He follows it very closely. That's why I would pick him if I had to pick a celebrity.
Okay. No, that's a fact.
Because Freeway, him saying a tie is just a little awkward. You know what I mean? So.
bless you, sir. Bless you, sir. You all right with me? You gonna be all right, sir.
All right.
But I do want to kind of talk about one of the storylines. Obviously, this tournament is going to conclude on Gnome. We're starting to hear some whispers of some names. Mm-hmm. But there's starting to be a narrative in the battle rap community, and maybe it hasn't reached, the heights of your level, right. But definitely in the depths of mine, right. It's definitely one of the hottest topics. And it is, should the new era battlers, so the 2020 rookies, whatever you want to call them, this new class, mm-hmm. should they be on a Gnome night of main events? Now, I say yes. These are our blue-collar workers. These are the ones that have put in the work, essentially risked their lives in a pandemic to provide great content, And this is their payoff. This is the reward for that. It is a gnome. It is Summer Madness. But again, the battle rap community, they want to see rock. They want to see surf. They want to see twerk. They want to see the names that they're familiar with. What is your take on that?
I'm a firm believer in integrating the newer talent into the bigger marquee platforms, only because you need to have newer talent come in. The NBA does it all the time, as well as any other sporting event, they do it. I feel that it's a necessity. I remember hosting John the Don versus B Magic. It was one round. And I remember saying to Chico and Beasley, I was like, y'all need to book this for 3 rounds on Summer Madness. And they were like, nah, it's too early. And I'm like, you got to start pushing the new guys, And I think if they would have done that, you know what I'm saying, it would have been a game changer back then, to put these new guys on such a big stage. But that battle was so good, I felt like they should have been on the first Summer Madness, but it didn't go down that way. So I've always been an advocate of putting newer talent on bigger stages because they have to get used to this anyway. And you don't want to put them on a big stage if they haven't, at least attempted to be there earlier on in their career. And I feel like they've gotten to that point now where they can shake the room. They can, they've built up a loyal support system within the culture because there was a pandemic, and then we have the app, and then we have interviews. So we have been growing with these guys for over a year. I see no reason why we can't have them on the biggest platform at this particular time. So I would have to say yes, I think they should be on these big stages.
Okay. So what are some of the favorites that you personally like out this new class?
I'm a very big fan of Chaos. I think Chaos is
My
incredible. I think he's unbelievable. I think he's one of the better guys. I think Easy is really dope. I also like Sick, and I like Lou Castro. I think Lou Castro is really, really good. So those 4 are my favorites. Obviously, you got Your Honor,
Jay the Nightwing.
I like Jay. I just need to see a little bit more. But I appreciate what he does. I do like Fonz.
Fonz is gonna sneak up on a lot of people because obviously, he won at 25,000 in the Ultimate Madness tournament, but then he kind of disappeared, kind of backed away for a certain time, had some things he was had to deal with. But now he's back, and now you're seeing what he can do.
Yeah, that thing with Av is it's one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. I had a show that night in Kokomo, Indiana, and I had one earphone in listening while I was performing, and I was blown away. I was like, yo, what the hell is happening right now? I feel like that was a coming out party for him. I think he needed that to kind of re-solidify himself within the culture. And I think now, before when he called out K-Shine, it was like a joke. It was like, ha! But now it's not so much of a joke after that particular match. So, yeah, man, I think this is one of the best classes ever, honestly. I think it's number 2. The first one is probably, it's hard to beat that first class, but this is a close second.
I mean, when you talk about the amount of work that they've done in the past year,
yeah,
like my goodness, no, I definitely, I made that argument that this would definitely be one of the better classes when they first came out, especially after seeing I think it was a Real Sick versus Kid Chaos. I said, because that was my first time actually seeing Kid Chaos, and then I went back and watched the Tell Me What You Want punchline.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that was when I became a Kid Chaos fan. So no, I definitely think they got some potential. And the thing about them is, like you said, they're everywhere. Right. They're doing interviews. You can't get some of the old guards to do interviews anymore, and they're doing interviews with young bloggers like myself. Right. I've got a Kid Chaos. I've done a Real Sick. I've done an Av.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to some of these people that I don't know. If I could necessarily just DM a Tay-Rock and he gonna respond.
Right, I agree, and I feel like that is the separation between the new and the old guard. And if you don't remain with your ear to the streets, you won't know how to progress in the future. And I make sure to keep my ear to the streets and respond to every DM and talk to everybody, because you just never know.
No, absolutely, man. This is the interview with Mickey Factz, man. We are talking Ultimate Madness 3. We are at the Culture House in Omaha, Nebraska, man. They have the 2nd annual shoe soiree tonight at the Slowdown, man. I don't know what I'm on unds. I'm on unds something. It's going to be some heat, though.
Uh-oh.
It's definitely going to be some heat.
Okay.
But I got an interview on Tuesday. And I don't know if you've seen it, But I got Chilla Jones coming up on Tuesday.
Okay.
Chilla Jones has a couple possible battles out there.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of throw some names out there that I personally have for Chilla Jones.
Okay.
I want to see him against a Kid Chaos.
Okay.
I want to see him up against an Av.
Okay.
I want to see him up against a Tay-Rock.
Okay.
I want to see him against a Lux.
All right. Yeah.
But I want to see him against Mike P still too.
I like all of those matches except for the Mike P one. I feel like Mike P needs more of a dynamic, somebody more dynamic across from him.
Mm-hmm.
I think Chilla might expose some chinks in his armor in terms of lyricism, but Mike P is great. I just feel like he would suit better against somebody who's more. I think Mike P and Kid Chaos would be incredible. As opposed to Mike P and Chilla. Now, everybody else you named, yes, I agree with.
Okay.
100%.
No, I think if, when you talk champion of the year, that we're already talking that. I think
We're halfway in it.
We here. You got a lot of content, a lot of people, a lot of different content. And Chilla's someone who hasn't even started his year yet. So what do you think? Do you think he would need to see most of those battlers in the 2021 in order to even have his name right now?
He would need to see Chaos, Rock, and Ab at least. Bare minimum. 4. You have to take those 4. Or Ill Will.
Ill Will is scary.
That's a tough 4. Tough 4, tough 5. But I'm gonna say this, man. If Geechee wins 100K and then battles Calico Unknown, he's gonna be the champion of the year.
Halfway through the year. Done.
He don't have to take another. He'll be the champion of the year. You can't win it. Who did he face? He beat Math.
Mm-hmm.
He almost had the battle with Clean.
Yeah.
I think he took somebody else.
He was supposed to take.
He beat QP.
Yep, he beat QP. I think he was supposed to have a battle that was a Clean, and he jumped in somebody else's round. That was just last week.
If he wins the tournament, that means he would have beat
Riggs, Swamp,
the winner of KCJ and Prep.
Mm-hmm. And then probably a Romney, Jack, Cortez.
Right. And then from that point, he would battle Calico the same night.
That's ridiculous.
And if he beats Callison, you gotta give him a check. And I would feel bad for Danny because I think Danny has a strong campaign.
But I'll be honest, Danny always got a strong campaign around this time. The past 2-3 years, Danny is that undercard favorite that the battle rap community wants to give champion of the year.
But
But you think this year is different?
He gets on his bike, he's doing all these tricks, and the tricks is fire. And then when it's time for him to just keep riding, he hits a rock, and boom, he just starts tumbling. So he got somebody unknown. If he play, it's over. High risk, low reward. I told him that.
Those are the most dangerous ones.
High risk, low reward battles are never good, man. They're never good for you, because now you playing with fire. Why you want to play with fire for?
No, absolutely.
All you had to do this was a layup for you. All you had to do was go see Suge.
Easy.
Go see Rock.
Easier now.
And maybe Av at the end of the year, and layup. It's a layup. It's a layup.
It's some killers out here.
Why take the killers when you can just get the easy? It's the easy layups, B.
Hey man, sometimes they want to go in between their legs. They don't want to just go off the backboard.
God bless. God bless. That's the reason why he hasn't won in the past 3-4 years, because he wanted to do it that way. Don't do it that way. You go the easy route. You keep playing with the hard route, you're not gonna get what you want. But we'll see though. I'm rooting for him. I want him to be the COTY this year. I don't know.
No, I definitely think everyone is rooting for Danny Myers. You definitely, again, that's a blue-collar worker in battle rap. If nothing else, he goes on the Mount Rushmore in his own category just for work ethic and true passion.
Yes, I agree.
But no, I absolutely agree. Danny, you got to be smarter about what you're doing, man. You playing checkers, and people are out here playing chess. People are out here playing chess. Chinese You might be playing regular checkers and they playing Chinese checkers. Like it is different. It is levels. And you can see the ones who are starting to do that as champion of the year is becoming more of a prized possession.
Yeah.
You kind of see how people are moving. People starting to get active a little bit later, so you're always familiar in their minds.
Right.
They're not taking all the hard battles at the beginning of the year that when we in January debating it, we can't even remember.
Yeah, I was shocked Chilla took that K-Shine thing so early, but he did it and he won.
He did it and he won. But here's the problem. You know that was an influence on Champion of the Year 2020. Will people even remember this for a 2021 campaign?
That panel has to. Yes, the panel has to. People, it's not up to the people. For me, the panel has to. But we'll see, man. Chilla could do it. He got a long road ahead of him too. Because Kid Chaos is no joke, Av is no joke, and neither is Rock. So.
No, that's a fact, man. But I'm definitely excited for that interview. But what you got going, man? I know you got the music thing. I know you got shirts, you got clothes, hats. What's going on with you?
Yeah, definitely, man. Go to MickeyFactz.com and pick up all the merch that you guys see up on there. We got shirts, we got hats, we got thumb drives, we got CDs, we got vinyl. And I'm just trying to get rid of a lot of this merch so we can move on to the next phase of what the year is going to be. I'm going to be touring with Lupe at the end of this year.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I better come to Omaha, Nebraska, dude.
You know what,
Look,
man?
I'm lobbying already. You know what I'm saying? Come down to the Culture House. Come do a press conference, a meet and greet. You know what I'm saying? A live listening session, maybe. Maybe we can get you to host a rap battle while you're in here next time around.
Yeah. You know, the Slowdown is a really nice venue. And it's something that I've been meaning to talk to Lou about. So I wouldn't be mad if we swung back around later this year in December or something like that. Because the capacity of the venue is dope. I feel like, I don't know if Lou has been here since maybe 2010, 2011. I feel like he probably came around here during the cool. So, you know, it's something that I'm going to put in his ear, you know, depending on what happens tonight. But yeah, I'll be hitting the road with him. We're doing New York City, we're doing Cleveland, we're doing Seattle, and we're doing, I believe, San Francisco. So it should be dope. I got a project coming out in June with Blue.
Okay.
From the West Coast. All produced by Knots. It's going to be crazy. We got Asher Roth on it. We got Coda the Friend on it. We got Iman Omari on it. We got Shorty from Tank and the Bangers on it. We got Oswin Benjamin on it. We got
everybody.
Everybody. We went out and we went above and beyond. We wanted to give people that nostalgia feel of, you know, what the freshman cover was like, two freshman MCs together on the same project with someone who we both collaborated with separately to come and create this new collective. And I think the people are going to be pleasantly surprised about this project that myself and Blue are dropping in June. And then I have two other projects that's going to drop later this year. One is Mickey Mouse 2, the sequel to my classic project.
Come on, man. You out here dropping gems in the Midwest.
Yeah. A lot of black love, black art, you know, that we're going to put to the forefront. And I'm working on a financial literacy album dealing with financial literacy in our community, and it's called The Dinner Table. All of the things that we didn't learn at our dinner table is going to be spoken about in lyric form. So keep an eye out for that stuff, man. Aside from that, man, you know, I'm just running these streets, kicking these bars, getting the people excited. And, you know, we'll be at the Sneaker Soiree tonight. A lot of love, a lot of performances, some dancing, some introspection, some lyricism. Everything is going to be left out on the stage. Very excited to see LP perform, Ty Lin perform, break bread, and show love to a lot of the people in Omaha. This is my first time here, and the hospitality has been through the roof. So I'm definitely adding it to the top cities that I've ever visited in this country.
As you should, sir. As you should, man. I definitely appreciate your time, man. I know I can speak on behalf of the Culture House when I say just thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for rocking with us. You know, we're a small town, but I promise you, we'll shake some shit up real quick.
Yeah, I seen that, man. I seen that a little bit, man. Y'all out here rocking, man. This is the black section, you know.
Thank you. You know what I'm saying?
We was riding around late last night, and we seen a couple clubs. You know, they was trying to get up in the spot. There's a couple things outside. You know, I seen it. It's a lot of box Chevys out here.
Okay, you know what I'm saying?
Like, I feel it.
You know, Carter Lake, it feels a couple more months from now. Carter Lake, Omaha days. Come on.
Popping last weekend.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? All we need
yeah.
is the sunshine out, baby, and sometimes we don't even need that.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's love out here. You know, I got love for Omaha, man. I didn't know what to expect, man. You know, I I get on the airplane, cause you know I was at the airport early, so I kept my head down. I looked up and it was just nothing but lily white all around me. I'm like, where the brothers at? Where the sisters at? What's going on? And then you got old white women coming up to me talking about, yo, where you coming here, Omaha for? I'm like, yo, Ma, where you going to Omaha for? I live here. Okay, good. That's what's up. I'm going to do what I gotta do. Don't talk to BB. I ain't here for none of that. We get on the plane. We about to land. I look out the window. I see one house on every plot of land, but it's always in the corner. I don't know what's going on. I'm mad scared. Usually you see a skyline, you see lights. I see none of that. I see hills. I see farms. I see cows. I see pigs. I see corn. I don't see no black people from the airport, so I was a little scared. Don't mind me. I'm sorry. But now I'm around my people. I feel a little bit more safe.
You know what I'm saying?
Good. I feel great. I feel beautiful. I feel lovely. And that's what it's about. We in the culture house
All right,
having a good time.
Hey, well, we definitely appreciate you, brother.
Thank you for checking my temperature when it came to the black people out here.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
If I did, because I live here.
Right,
I live here. I'd be
right.
wrong if I didn't, man.
Right.
But this is Mickey Factz, man. Check us out tonight, man. The Slowdown, second annual Shoe Foray, man, at the Culture House, man. Support black people, support black business. And this is Temperature Check. I am your host as always, man. Mr. Check the Temperature. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. And like always, we just getting started.
Spicky.